Come on, girls. So today we are building a pop-up TV or a hidden TV in a cabinet. Morning, Joe.
Morning.
So right here, what are we working on, Joe?
These are the hewn, basically outside parts of the pop-up cabinet. Corners, these two, this one and this one, will actually get mitered and biscuited at the corner so that it looks like a post in the ends. Door styles, door rails, panel styles and rails. Glued them all, pressed them all. You can see there's a core behind it because they're usually pretty thin, they're brittle, so we just like to give it a little more meat behind it. So it's pressed with a PL, Loctite.
What this is hand-hewn white oak, reclaimed material, pretty old stuff, and we end up getting this stuff sanded out really get it really clean and safe, basically for everyday use, because otherwise the slivers in this stuff is pretty extreme.
Yeah,
without sanding them out and softening the edges. You hit a remote, TV comes up.
It's got a little
pretty slick
balancing top on it, on some pins, so when it goes up, the top actually goes with the TV.
Yeah. So the company is Nexus 21, and we are using a model L50S.
The S is for the swivel, so that once it gets up, it can turn either way, as long as it's far enough out from the wall.
Exactly. Great product. We've used them before and super happy with them. What we're doing is building the outside frame for it. We build an inner box that holds the mounting system, the lift itself.
Hides all the electronics in the back.
And then we have a steel top we're going to put on it.
So I guess, yeah, at this point, there's not really, I mean, once it's sanded and cored, then I'll end up having to mill it, put the tongue and groove on it to put it all to assemble it, basically.
Exactly. And then once we put a stain on here and then our several top coats of finish, it really lights up. And it's very user friendly. I mean, super soft for what it is. So we'll have to finish. There's multiple steps to this. So right now, Joe has everything pressed and sized, ready to sand. And next step will be building the inner box of the cabinet and then mounting the hardware. So I think that's about it.
I think so, yep.
Home.
Well, it's turned out pretty decent.
Because I think we're going to end up pulling it all the way over, right?
Yeah.
So it can. I mean, if where's the pivot point? About there.
About
so
11, yeah.
9 and a hay. Right. Right. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be the greatest. So I just want to show, I mean, this is super rough. I mean, you look at this and again, it looks like firewood, but once we sand these edges, and I just want to show you what happens when we sand these edges. This is a piece of white, hand-hewn white oak. You can see all of the adze marks in there, you know, to square this original round log up. So basically, we're just softening all this stuff so it is user-friendly. So this is a 60 grit sandpaper we're using on this. What you're going to see is you get little pieces of sandpaper in there. So you just take a utility knife and just basically pick those out. Before staining, before finishing, you're gonna want to blow it with an air nozzle. So again, this is a cutoff. It was cut off for a reason. We've got some rot back here, but this is clearly just to show you guys how we get it to that final product. Safety, definitely wear glasses. I mean, it's just throwing stuff up. Gloves, definitely wear gloves. I was gonna say pants again. Always wear pants when doing this type of work. Okay, so this is basically ready for stain and lacquer. And that's what we did. I believe we used a walnut stain on here, a wiping stain, which is a more concentrated stain. And then we put several coats of lacquer and it's ready. So here's the finished product. After, a few weeks of working on this, super happy with how it turned out. As you see, we have the same hewn material as the mantle here. We did a previous video on this mantle with how we finished it. So if you want to see that, take a look in the playlist. Really happy with how this turned out. Joe, our cabinet guy, he's top notch. And the way everything came together, the hardware, the steel tops that we ended up putting a antique bronze patina on, really turned out great. This flat, dull, rubbed finish on that, an exterior lacquer on top, pretty bomb-proof. So overall, I'd like to talk about the depth of this cabinet being in the corner. We could have made this TV, this cabinet, 10 inches, very shallow. But being in the corner like this, the TV's got to pop up and be able to swivel out. So that's why we made it this extra depth. So after the TV does pop up, we're able to swivel and you're able to see the television from different angles in the room. This is a Nexus 21 L50S. S stands for swivel. The L50S model will raise and swivel a 40 to 65 inch TV. Costs about $2,300 plus shipping. So we used this model in a previous project, and just their customer service was top notch, responded extremely well, and we got the product easy to work with, super easy to install. Just bottom line, really like them. Hey you guys, to see more videos on the Yellowstone River House, check out our playlist. We appreciate you guys taking the time and watching these videos and would love to hear from you. We'd also love it if you subscribed. Thanks a lot and click that subscribe button.